Hello YouTube, this is Rhino Dan, and I want to talk about the hardest decision I have to make. I'm retiring from racing, and I'm going to have to sell off my R3. You're going to ask me, why am I going to sell off my R3? Well, because she's a race bike, which means that she's no longer street legal. There's no headlights, there's no tail lights, there's no blinkers. The tires themselves are race tires, which is not even street legal. All these things right here is designed to be on the track to give you optimum performance, not for street performance. There's a vast difference. My 415 chain kit, all the things you guys see me do over the years to make this bike competitive. The reason it's a hard decision for me is because, one, I'm hurt. By the time I get back on the bike, I'm going to be 45 years old. And you're like, well, that's not that old. It is if you're racing. If you've never raced before, you don't know how hard it is to be in shape, to be in dieting, the exercise. Everything about it is very difficult. It's not you just jump on the bike and ride. You don't do that. You don't just show up and race. It's a lot of training, lots of work involved. And all that right there means I have to start over from scratch, because when I'm ready to get back on the bike, I'm going to be out of shape, and I'm going to have to start everything over. And I'm going to lose some skills, which is another thing that makes this whole process really difficult, because I'm going to be losing my sensation of speed. Of course, some things I'm always going to have, like counter steering and my ability to brake and all that stuff, still going to be there, but there's timing involved, and there's so much involved in racing, and having a year and a half off the bike is going to just not be good for me. So I'm going to call it quits. Another reason I'm calling it quits too is because if I go up to a 600 instead of racing on my R3, the 600 class is way more expensive. Like, for example, if you see over there, those are street tires on the ground. The crappy tires, really cheap. And then the R3 tire, the race tire back there by my bicycle, that's about a $300 tire right there. $200, $280 tire, and the compound's very different. The whole purpose of this video is to show you guys that by going up to the 600 class, what's going to cost me financially is going to be about $50,000 to $60,000 a year to race competitively. And you don't make any money in the pro class. The guys that, maybe 4 or 5 guys in the whole nation makes any type of money racing. So you spend a lot of money and there's no return. And that's another reason why I'm retiring, because if you watched my last Sears Point video, you know that I was passing leader bikes and 600s on my R3 with a measly 42 horsepower, beating bikes with 200 horsepower on the outside. I'll make a video showing you why that's so amazing. But I'm stuck. The 600 is my next step, and I just don't have financial money. Whether I hurt my back or not, that was going to be the roadblock. Is going to happen anyway because of finances. You know, I'm not a 19 or 16-year-old kid living at home and having mom and dad pay for it. So that's probably the biggest roadblock right there, would have been financial. I know a lot of you guys on YouTube ask me about racing bigger bike, but the thing is that bigger bike means a way more financial commitment. And then you go travel, and I don't know, racing's expensive even on the R3 level. When you go up to a 600 liter bike, it becomes exponentially more expensive. And that's why this is a hard decision for me. You know, not only got to sell off all of my gear and everything else, and hopefully I can get about $4,000 for the bike, maybe $3,500, which basically me giving it away to somebody. And hopefully someone on Craigslist doesn't try to offer me $1,000 for it, because that's just going to be like no good. But that's about it. So that's why this is a hard decision. I'm retiring from racing, selling off my bike, and that's where I'm at. And I didn't want to make this video for a while because, one, I didn't want to, announce that I'm retiring, and two, I just didn't want to, confront it, I guess, if you will. Alright, thanks for watching. My name's Rhino Dan. I appreciate you guys' time. Thanks for being a part of my channel. And if you have any comments or questions, or if you're interested in buying the bike, let me know. Thank you. Have a nice day.